All right, let's go to Patrick in Grand Rapids. What's up, Patrick?
Hey, Dr. John, how are you?
This show is rapidly devolving, so help us out, man.
Hey, yeah, so I guess the reason that I'm calling, really, I'm just struggling with balance in my life. And kind of the question I had was, how can I better prioritize my family kind of with everything going on?
What you got going on?
So right now, at this stage in my life, I'm in medical residency, which means I work a ton and I work like 70 to 80 hours a week. And so at a baseline, I'm just not home, frankly, as much as I'd like to be to spend time with my family. And even when I am home, I just find myself thinking about people I took care of that day or how I could have better, interacted with somebody. And so I'm not even when I'm there, I'm not always mentally there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
how much longer do you got in residency?
Another 2 years.
Okay. And then where to?
I'm not really sure after that.
Are you doing a specialty postdoc or are you going directly into private practice? What are you going to go do?
So I'll be in family medicine.
Okay.
And to help pay for some of the school stuff, I signed a government contract, so I'll be doing some government work.
Okay. Are you in the service?
Yeah. Yep.
What's that commitment? 100 years?
Yeah, forever. From right now, it's going to be close to 9 years.
Okay. Is that going to be full time or is that going to be as needed?
No, it's going to be full time.
Okay. How much of this challenge are you looking down the road and saying this is going to be the next decade of my life versus this is the next 2 years of my life?
It's kind of both. I know what the next 2 years look like. I don't know what the next time after this.
Okay.
It's really hard to think too much about it because I don't know what the state of the world's going to look like or where I'm going to be or where they're going to send me.
Oh, so you can get deployed over the next 10 years too?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. How old are your kids, man?
Just one on the way. Coming here soon in a couple weeks.
Congratulations, man. That's exciting.
Thanks.
It's exciting. So here's a couple of things I think I would keep in mind and a couple of things that I had to navigate. I never went to med school, but we've got some similar trajectories, and I'll walk you through some of it. The first thing is you signed what's essentially, you have 10 years left on the commitment you signed. The faster you make peace with that reality and don't fight it, the more energy you will have to spend on adjusting your life and your schedule and your routine and your overall wellness, which allows you to be the dad and husband you want to be. It gives you more energy and perspective on those things that actually matter. The more you walk around pissed off that you got 10 more years and I don't know where I'm going to be and this and that, the less time and focus you have on the other stuff. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think there's something important about saying, yeah, this is cool. I get to serve my country and my kid and maybe more are going to get a ringside seat to what service looks like, both at the individual level, taking care of an individual patient, at the community level, at the national level. So I think there's some really remarkable insights that you'll be able to pass on to your kids. How's your marriage, man?
Good.
It's really as good as it could be with a 9-month pregnant, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're in it, right? So things are chaos. Right. How was it before?
Good. Okay. Actually, really good. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me, honestly.
Have you ever asked her how she sees you doing?
I don't think in those specific terms as much. No.
It was an important moment for my marriage when my wife looked me in the eye and said, I'm tired of watching my husband die right before my eyes because I was working myself to death. And she had never spoken that directly to me before, but there was something powerful to the point that now I ask her at some regular intervals, how am I looking? But not like I'm not posing down. I'm not all oiled up and flexing, but how am I looking? And she'll say, man, you look great. Like you're present with us. Or I'm giving her permission to say, I haven't seen you in 3 weeks, even though I've been home every night. See what I'm saying? So sometimes if you have a good connection with your wife, she can be a remarkable mirror for the man that she loves right before her, okay? So here's what I've had to do over the years is I've had to create an off-ramp for myself between working in the messy lives of people, showing up for clients or patients, whatever you want to call them, showing up in crisis situations, and then showing up for my wife and kids. And you're going to have to learn that toggle between dealing with somebody, coding somebody, telling a loved one that their loved one has died, and then showing up to a soccer game. That's hard. And so I would recommend strongly over the next few years creating a practice that you can live by that's going to give you the tools to be able to shut this sucker down. This person passed away today. I wish I'd been kinder to this woman. I wish I'd told this woman that she has cancer in a different way. I'm going to learn that. I'm going to have a process. I'm going to have a journal where I write this down. I'm going to write myself a small note that says, I forgive you. And next time we're going to do better. And I'm closing this journal and this part of my day is over. And now I'm going to go be with my family. And I just made that one up on the spot. It can be a quick stop at a gym. It could be going to get coffee. Sometimes I call friends on the way home. I have a 30-minute commute and it's become really important for me because it allows me to shut these calls off and then go home and be present with my kids. But at the end of the day, it's you being intentional about a process and choosing I'm not going to bring my patients into my house. You there?
Yeah. Yep. I'm here.
Does that sound Does that sound possible or does that sound crazy?
No. I think that's great. I don't think I know really the balance yet on sharing things with my wife about my day and how much just to like leave at the hospital.
I can tell you from personal experience, I almost buried my wife with my garbage. And with the details of my garbage, and I almost broke my marriage up when I decided to go the other way and hold all of it to myself.
Mm.
And so the balance that I've struck in my house, and so I don't know any clinical data that would suggest otherwise. You and your wife are going to have to figure out what's best for y'all. Some partners may want to hear more details. Others may I don't want to know. My wife and I landed on, hey, I had a really rough night last night. Or I had a really tough session yesterday. And then my wife knows it's hard. And, but she doesn't have to watch me carry on hey, I had my hands inside of a patient yesterday as they bled out. Or I had to tell a mom that her 4-year-old son had died. Like some of the horrific things I've had to do, and you will have to do, and you have done. That's a lot of burden to put on somebody. And this is going to sound crazy when I say it like this. Our bodies have a built-in mechanism for dealing with reality in front of us. It has less of an ability to reconcile it when it's just info. Meaning, when you are with somebody saving their life, doing CPR, your body is cycling through cortisol and adrenaline, and it is pumping through your body. You have an exit release. You are running. You are moving. You're reading charts. You are in this thing, and those chemicals are cycling through your body as they should. You come home and sit down and dump that story on your wife, and those chemicals discharge in her, even at a lesser degree, and they got nowhere to go.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so but again, every couple's different. Are you feeling her getting burned out?
I think I'm probably more on the other end where I just don't tell her anything, and she's waiting for me to tell her something about my day.
Please don't do that.
Come.
Please don't do that. You'll create an alternative life for yourself that's apart from your wife. And it's a tricky balance. Make no mistake, it's a tricky balance. And when you have a kid, when your kid comes and your kid y'all can start having conversations in 3 or 4 years, there'll be something really important about saying, Daddy had a really hard day today. He had to see some things that were sad. That's such a gift to your kids.
Okay.
But coming home and saying, man, I saw somebody whose hand got cut off, like that's not going to be helpful to a 5-year-old, right?
Right.
So it's finding that balance. But yeah, man, I give your wife the gift of letting her love you.
Okay.
And I guess maybe sit down and ask her what that means. And maybe y'all can figure it out together.
Yeah.
Why are you nervous about it?
No, I guess I just need to sit down with her and figure out like how much she wants to know and what is getting a better gauge from her of what is too much. Because part of me is afraid that like I don't want her to experience some of the things that I have. And even if it's secondhand from me, like I don't want to feel like a burden to her, or like my burdens become her burdens.
There it is, right there. She signed up to carry your arms in the desert when you can't. And you signed that up for her. And so don't take her love for you away.
Mm.
And there's a way to be abusive with that insight, right? There's a way to, I mean, you could shut a party down pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
And if you're like me, you probably have on occasion. You sound like somebody who's got a little more diplomacy than I do. I learned early on, I should never tell these stories to anybody.
I think I've slipped up a little one too many times, and so I tend to withhold.
Yeah. Listen, you will never be a burden to your wife unless you come home and just start throwing blood and guts in her face, and she has asked you not to do that.
Okay.
In fact, it becomes more of a burden if you hide yourself from her. That's burdensome. Because she's going to walk around wondering what she did wrong that keeps her from being trustworthy to you. She's going to walk around all day wondering what it is about her that you don't love enough to have a story to invite her into your life. That's burdensome. But coming home and telling her, hey, I had a really hard day. What I really need is fill in the blank. I really need to hold your hand and watch TV and put our feet up and let's eat. Let's eat shamefully tonight. Let's just get off the rails. Or what I really need is for you and I to go for a walk, or I need 30 minutes by myself. I saw some hard things today. I had to have some tough conversations, and it was really bad. And man, what a gift that can be. Let her love you. Let her love you. Let her love you. And don't fight this commitment. You got 10 years. You got 10 years. And you're going to be upset when you have to miss T-ball games and dance recitals. That's hard stuff. And the other side of it is you get to live a life of service and purpose that millions and millions and millions of people are desperate for right now because they're walking aimlessly around waiting for AI to take their job. And you've made a commitment bigger than yourself to say, I love people I'll never meet, and I'm willing to go first. And so I'm grateful for you, man. Thank you so much for the call, brother.